Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto. Hope you're having a great day. So, woke up this morning. Actually, I got some news yesterday. I research all the time. But today brought in some huge news. Let's start with yesterday. Ripple. Brad Garlinghouse, he's the CEO of Ripple, came out and said, listen, I'm expecting a decision on the SEC case within the next few weeks, not few months. That is huge. If they win, I'm expecting that there are going to be a series of events that would be kicked off. One, the price would just skyrocket just because everybody's expecting good news. I'm expecting good news, so I think the price would skyrocket from that. The next step would be with every United States exchange relisting the coin, relisting XRP. That would be huge because then you would have more access to XRP from the United States. And here's something to contemplate. He also said that 95% of the holders of XRP are actually not US based. Pause. I would say that the number is not 95%. I would say the number is high, but I wouldn't say it's 95%. And here's why. Some people, some people have taken a longer route to acquire their XRP, meaning they might have leveraged VPNs to link to different exchanges, DEXs, to acquire XRP. They might have leveraged a tool like Chain Jelly where you can swap different coins to acquire the XRP that are actually based in the United States. Still, I would agree that the greater percentage of people holding and using XRP are outside the United States. That said, wow, weeks, that's huge. That's huge news. So let that wash over you for a little bit. That's cool. New York City Banking Commission is on the record now saying they have voted to cease deposits in their key bank account and KeyBank bank accounts, as well as Capital One bank accounts. And they're citing the fact that the two companies did not submit plans to thwart discrimination I can't speak English this morning. Discriminatory practices. Mona, stop laughing. I can see you. At their banks. And that's actually huge because that means that you're going to have a steady outflow of money from those two banks. You're also going to have a PR nightmare for those two banks because it basically says, hey, we asked you, New York City is saying, hey, we asked you for documentation that explains to us how you're going to address a method or adopt a method to identify and stop discriminatory practices at your banks, at your respective banks, and they didn't do it. That is not going to look good. Couple that with what Jamie Dimon said a few days ago, and I sit there and I just go, the banking industry just can't stop shooting itself in the foot. All you had to do was say, hey, here's our plan for identifying and rooting out these kinds of practices. That shouldn't be hard. That should have been done. If it was a clerical error, whatever executive is there, don't fire the underlings, fire the executive that was responsible for that. I'm just saying that because this is a self-inflicted wound and it could have huge ramifications. We'll see how it goes on, as more news sources pick up the story. It was first reported. I found it on Reuters, so that's a big deal. Now, JPMorgan, keeping with their plan, said that they've notified 1,000 people at First Republic Bank that they're going to be out of a job. It's unfortunate, but they did say that, they're going to retain only about 85% of the almost 7,000 employees at First Republic Bank. So there you go. There are probably a ton of synergies, that JPMorgan has with the bank, and that this is why they can say we kind of have an idea about how many people we can keep, and the roles and responsibilities of those people. I mean, it makes sense as the years move forward and that post acquisition effort gets underway. You could see probably more synergies, or or JPMorgan doesn't have to hire from outside because they have these new resources. JPMorgan is pretty doggone efficient, I've got to say, like seriously. So that's something I would pay attention to. Other banking news, sort of. DCG has announced that they are shutting down TradeBlock. TradeBlock is their prime brokerage arm, and that's done. They're shutting that down. They lost about $1 billion last year, DCG, and you know that they're having problems meeting their current debt obligations, including missing what was it, a 630 million or 680 million? Forgot the exact number. Go back to my other videos. I think I reported it, earlier this week or late last week. They have that payment that's due to, due to Gemini and other creditors, and they missed it. So that's going to cause a problem. So I think they're trying to figure out, how they can save money and how they can build up liquidity, because they've got to come up with some cash. I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself that this is not over. I think we're probably a long way away from the Genesis problem and everything else, which is why DCG has their problem. So I would be paying attention to that. The next biggest news out there is multi-chain protocol. This is nuts. Multi-chain protocol is a bridge between, the various blockchains. Well, they've locked about $1.8 billion. They've locked those wallets. Why? What happened? What's going on? And a lot of people, swirl is starting to happen. A lot of people are thinking it's smelling like a rug pull. Now, rumors, and I say rumors, are that, some of the team members got picked up by the Chinese government, and now China has taken control over multi-chain protocol. I can't verify that. I really can't. What I can say is it's a problem, right? You multi-chain protocol has locked $1.8 billion. And guess what? You want to know who's suffering probably the most? Phantom. Phantom has about a $1.6 billion market cap, and about 40% of that is wrapped in multi-chain. That's a problem. It's a little bit of a problem. So when you sit there and you think about that, you say to yourselves, holy crap, we've got big problems right now. So what happens next, I don't know, but I'm waiting for the next shoe to drop. I'm waiting to see more news come out of that. And that's pretty sour, right? That really is pretty sour, but it's something to contemplate, something to keep your mind on. So if you're wrapped up in that or anything, I'm sorry for you. But hopefully there'll be a better outcome. Now, what we should do is go over the numbers. That's what we should do. Just give me a moment. Boop. Now, I haven't done this in a while, and I had a couple of people get on me about it. I hadn't been doing the side-by-side 25 up, 25 down. So here we are. As a matter of fact, we could actually go refresh that. All right, here you go. So biggest losers, 7%, 6%, right there. That's where I stopped. And why do I stop there? It's because at 5%, the swing, positive, negative 5%, is almost insignificant when you're talking about how fast these swings can happen in this space, or at least that's how I look at it. There are going to be very few coins that I'm paying attention to where a 5% move in either direction is going to sway me. I'm normally looking for a plus 5%, right? Swing, meaning if you're down 5% and you get positive 1%, right? You get back to zero and then get back to 1%. I'm looking at that 6% move, right? Those are the things I'm looking at. But right now, these are coins that I don't even come close to following. They're just not on my, they're just not on my list, right? Which is crazy. This one's marked at 75. Okay, but yeah, these are not coins that are on there for me. Who else is on here? Quant is on here, but again, 3%. No reason to pay attention to any of that because that's a sway that could just happen. On the positive side, you probably stop right there. Singularity.net. Why are they up? They're up because supposedly they're an AI play, and AI has taken off. And one of the reasons why, NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA. I know. Kathy Wood is probably screaming and pulling her hair out because she dropped NVIDIA earlier this year, so she missed out. Her and ARK Invest missed out. But Singularity is up. Ajax is up because they are, that kind of a play, and there you go. So up, 7% swing, not bad. Nobody else that's up in double digits, am I paying attention to? They're just not on my list. Arbitrum is up 5%, but again, that's my 5% rule. Not really going to pay attention to that stuff. I'm surprised that Fetch AI is not up more. Maybe we'll see that change as the day goes on, but that's really interesting to me. Looking at XRP, it's up to 46 cents. It had been around 42 cents just a couple of days ago. So that's something to pay attention to. But that's it. That's all I've got in terms of those kinds of numbers. Let's see if this works. Sorry about that. You weren't supposed to see that screen. I'm not that kind of guy. And of course, this one is going to take a long time to come up. Let's refresh it. But yeah, we're seeing a little bit of positive signs, but not much. I mean, just look at that. XRP getting a little bit of a pop, 1% lying flat. But over the past 24 hours, you saw a 3% pop. I want to explain this to you. I know that 5% in any other case is a big deal. But when I'm playing around with this kind of money, in this kind of environment, a crypto environment, 5% is not a big deal to me in terms of movement. But I will say this to you. In what other industry can you drop some money and make 3% in a day? Maybe not even a day. Think about that. When you open up a new bank account, you're not getting anywhere near 3%. I mean, unless you go with that new Apple offering that I reported on, I think last week or the week before, where you could get, I think, 4.15% return, but that's not in a day. Think about that. So you can do those kinds of trade moves if you do your math right, and you can make money. That's what I'm talking about. Pay attention to those kinds of moves, right? Something to contemplate is, JPMorgan is going after their index bot, IndexGPT, and that's big. The reason why it's big, well, because IndexGPT is going to be a bot that basically says, oh, those are your preferences. Let me go identify some securities for you to trade, right? Look at your account and identify other securities for you to trade with. And boom, that's how you're going to make money. All AI driven. They've got 3 years to actually launch that, right? They've got 3 years to launch that, or they lose the trademark on IndexGPT. So that to me is a big deal. This page just does not want to come up. Like, what? That's weird. Finicky little thing. There's a blip, flash. Yeah, whatever. We don't care about that. I do want to see the fear and greed index is still at 49. So for 2 days in a row is at 50, and now 2 days in a row is at 49. That's very interesting to me. And we're dipped below 60 billion in total value locked. And there's multi-chain. I'm just saying that's one of the reasons why you're looking at that. We're still incredibly low. Look at this. So you see the bottom part of my green band? That's exactly where we are right now. We dipped below it for a very long period of time right here, and we're fighting it to get back above that 26,475. Right now, it's at 26,452. So these are the things that I pay attention to as we move forward. Big picture wise, yeah, it looks green, but it's not really all that green, right? I mean, everything is a bit down. Do you want to know what I have been paying attention to? Matic. Matic is at 89 cents, nipping at 90 cents. That's what I'm paying attention to. Matic has been strong and steady, and it's battling to get back to $1. That is a big deal right there. Pay attention to that. Definitely pay attention to that. Let's see, what else do we have here? DeFi Llama, we already went over this. So I guess that's it for today. The fear, like I said, I'm paying attention to the fear and greed index, but I'm really paying attention to what Bitcoin is doing in the big picture, right? We need Bitcoin to get back up to $28,028. Okay, that's where we need to be for anything. And I think that if there's any kind of positive movement that comes out of the Ripple case, that comes from almost anything else, Bitcoin will just go through the roof. Same thing with ETH. I'm glad Ethereum is above 1,800. I'll say that, even though it's barely above 1,800. I am paying attention to the correlation. You can see that this is up 1.52%, and Bitcoin is only up 0.76%. Overall, Bitcoin is still up more than Ethereum. It's up more than most, right? I mean, Cardano is up 43% on the year, and Ethereum for the year is up 50%. Bitcoin is up 59%. Solana up 93%. These are the things that I'm paying attention to in the large sway of things. I am expecting better news as we move forward, and I do keep watching Doge, dip. It was at 7.7 cents, I think, at the beginning of the week, and now it's only at 7 cents right now. So, and I think that has to do with, just where's the utility? That's what people are looking for. Anyway, this is Eddie Joe on Crypto. I hope my research helps. I hope the news that I deliver to you helps you and inspires you to do your own research so that you can make your own decisions, because I don't give financial advice. That's not what I do. All right. Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.